I'm Stacy Haraldson, and this is my week 7 presentation. And this week's presentation, I focused on the question, how can I learn from my students? And I got my question answered from the reading, Plato's books 6 and 7, and the Nature and Grace from Thomas Aquinas, something like that. And there's also the Massachusetts Bay document that we read, and the interview I had with Jenna Medlin. So, first off, Plato's books talk about the many. There are many ways to see things. They go under one thing, but there are many ways to bring that one thing. So, and he says also, the many, as we say, are seen but not known, and the ideas are known but not seen. So you have this two-way thing. There are things that we know but we can't see, but there are also things we see but don't know. Why does the sun shine? We can see it, but we don't always know it, especially at that time. And there are many ways to get answers, and sometimes we forget that there are many ways to answer things. And he also talks about the allegory of the cave and how these people are trapped in the cave and they only know shadows and echoes, and these people, when they're finally brought out of this darkness, it's too bright for them to see, but when they're used to the brightness and they go back to the cave, it is so dark they can't see there either. So we have this two-way situation where the students can't see the brightness that this knowledge presents them, but as a teacher we forget that they don't quite have the brightness we have, and we're blind to what they do and don't understand. So we need to understand that we need to meet in the middle in this learning process. The teacher can't be too bright, and the students can't be too dark. So we have to give them a little light, but we can't have too much for them. And the students can teach us, to see the shadows that we've forgotten how to see, I guess. And next, there is the Massachusetts Bay Colony, who provided means to teach, and whereas before that very rarely happens. Massachusetts Bay Colony also says, learning is not to be buried. We need to encourage the learning, whereas before it was a little more elite. And next is my interview with Jenna. And the thing that really stood out to me, she said that sometimes what we're teaching isn't always what they learn. And sometimes we have to go off of what the students want to learn instead of what we need to learn. So teaching and learning is kind of a dual process. Sometimes the students will teach us things that we didn't realize that we needed to teach them. And in the process, when they teach us, we can put it forward to future students that we'll have. And it's kind of a fun process to see what we can learn from people and not just what we can teach them.